Welcome back. This is Sports with Hunzi. First time being back here in quite some time. It's almost football season. We are only, a week and a half away from the Hall of Fame game. Before I go any further, remember to subscribe, like the podcast, wherever you see this. It's only on YouTube. But nonetheless, if you don't have an account on YouTube, or if you do, please remember to subscribe. Helps me tremendously. This week, we're going to talk NFL quarterbacks. High demand. At least two people have asked for my rankings, at the very least. First segment is going to be tiers. This is the opportunity to be nice to each quarterback. We're not going to have any tiers that are demeaning. It's really just about who's serviceable and who's not, and then your starters, franchise quarterbacks, elite, that sort of thing. We'll get straight to that. So I'll start at the bottom, work my way to the top. Quarterback 2, backup, bridge. It's time to find a new quarterback scenario. That would be Malik Willis. That's Jacoby Brissett. That's Michael Penix, J.J. McCarthy. These guys I don't have any confidence in. Nice guys. Malik, I think, will do okay. Glad he got a contract. Jacoby Brissett, he's going to sling the rock. Michael Penix, I hope he outlives his injuries. Just not a whole lot of confidence that he actually does that. And I'm not sure that he even wins the starting job in Atlanta. And then J.J. McCarthy, I think he's just a bit behind the eight ball, and from what we've seen, is not good. So is what it is. Next tier up is the unknown category. That's Jackson Dart, that's Cam Ward, that's Tyler Shuck. Seen some glimpses of Tyler Shuck do good things. Same with Cam Ward. Great arm talent. Jackson Dart, serviceable right now. A little bit concerned about his injuries. I really hope he stays away from the concussions. But about all three, I don't know that we have enough data and enough film to make a judgment on them. Next tier up, we have, you can sometimes win with them, maybe a playoff game, maybe a playoff game appearance. You're going to need a lot of help around them. You're going to need a good defense. You're going to need a lot of offensive weapons to make it work. That's Aaron Rodgers, that's Tua, that's Kyler Murray, that's Geno, and that's Daniel Jones. So with Daniel, he's made a playoff run, or I should say he's made a run to the playoffs. The Colts were pretty good last year up until he got hurt. It's yet to be seen whether or not he can be a true starter in the league. Obviously, we're going to be... I'll just cut that. Daniel's made a couple good years, but nothing that gives me confidence moving forward that he's going to be a solid starter in the league. Geno, man, I had some hot takes about Geno last year. Sucks to be wrong. I think he'll do all right in New York, but I'm not confident because I think just about anybody who plays quarterback in New York is not going to do well. Kyler Murray, you can win with him sometimes. He's made the playoffs once. He's serviceable. He needs a lot of help. Same with Tua. Aaron Rodgers is old, but he made the playoffs last year, so that's as much as I can really positively say about them. But you're probably looking for your next QB. I would say all the guys in this tier, their teams are definitely worried about their quarterback play for the future and looking for their next. Next tier up is your starters. That's Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, Baker Mayfield, and Jalen Hurts. Starting with Jaden, great first year. I think if he stays healthy, he is a certified starter in this league. He's got the arm talent. He's got the intangibles. It's a matter of, can he stay healthy with his frame? Bo Nix, same thing. Ankle problems, obviously got hurt before the AFC or during the divisional round, missed out on the AFC Championship game. He can throw the ball. He can check it down. I don't think you need to ask too much of him, and I don't think you can. But can he win you 9 games? Can you get you a playoff spot? I think he can. He will be the reason that you are in games, not the reason that you're winning them, and not the reason that you are particularly losing them, as long as he's in the right system. Bryce, I was debating whether or not to put him in the tier below him, but Bryce is at least talented enough to make a push at the end of the year for the playoffs like he did last year. And, I mean, he did get them into the playoffs. I think that's enough talent to say that he's at least a starter in this league. To CJ, great first year, similar to Jaden. He's fallen off the wagon. I think the majority of that is due to bad offensive line play and the scheme not matching the talent. I think he's a solid in this league. I don't know that he's going to make it into a franchise quarterback because of the way that they've handled him in Houston, specifically with the offensive line play. Nonetheless, he's at least a certified starter. Same with Baker. When Baker's healthy, he's good enough to get you into the playoffs. He's good enough to get you 9-10 wins. I don't think he has the ability to be elite, but he definitely has the ability to be a franchise quarterback and a starter in this league. Jalen Hurts. Jalen has had good seasons. I don't think he's ever been the reason that his team has been winning, and that's why I hold off on making him a franchise quarterback and or making him elite. There have been lots of reasons why he has succeeded. There are so many pieces around him that help him to be successful. I don't see him in games and in the box score making his team better and or being the reason that his team is succeeding. He's not the reason that his team is failing, and he's not going to be the reason that you guys are trailing. But when he is trailing, I don't know that he has the capability to push back and push the ball down the field, especially the middle of the field, like the majority of the other franchise quarterbacks and elites can. So into the franchise quarterback, that is Joe Burrow, that's Jared Goff, that's Caleb Williams, Jordan Love, that's Dak Prescott, Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence, Drake May, Brock Purdy, and Sam Darnold. We'll start with Joe. A lot of people want him in the elite category. He's been too hurt to be in that elite category. And his surroundings have been so well manicured that it's hard to imagine that he is the reason that his team has succeeded. And that's what the elite quarterbacks are. Jared Goff, extremely underrated. Every season that he's been healthy and the team has been well organized, he's made a conference championship. He's made a Super Bowl. He throws for 4,000 yards. He is going to put your team in a position to win 9 or 10 games. I don't think he's the reason for the team's success, which is why he's not an elite. But he is definitely not a contributor to losses the majority of the time. Caleb and Jordan Love are kind of cut from the same cloth. I think their risk management needs to get a little bit better. They are spectacular at points of times, and yet at the same time, they concern me about taking care of the ball and making sometimes erratic throws. Dak is close to being elite. I think he has been handcuffed by what I would consider poor coaching over the past couple of years, and then his health prior to that, Dak can throw the ball anywhere on the field. He can throw the ball up the seams, or up the hash, which is something that some of the franchise quarterbacks even struggle with. Dak is underrated, but he is a certified franchise quarterback in this league. Justin Herbert, a lot of people want to put him in the elite category. I don't think that's fair just yet. His team hasn't won enough for him to be elite. You can see it on film. He is successful. He's not the reason that his team is losing, but he's not always the sole reason his team is winning either. And that's why he's in the franchise quarterback. To Trevor, he's had a mix of being a starter. He's had a mix of being elite. I think he certified himself as being a franchise quarterback last year when he's had the right surroundings and he's had the right offense, or at least a middle of the pack offensive line. He has got some of the best arm talent in the league, and he is rarely the reason that his team would ever be losing, which is why he's a franchise quarterback. He also has games where he extends into, hey, we're winning this game because of me. And that's why I think he is going to end up elite in this league in the future. Same thing with Drake May. I think they both have the intangibles. They both have the arm. Drake is the reason that his team has won games. He's the reason that his team, I think, is going to have as high of a floor in the future. Is he an elite quarterback just yet? I think he had an elite year last year, but we need to wait and hold off to see whether or not he actually will take that and be consistent. I think he is certified as a franchise quarterback, and he'll get a second deal with New England. He'll be there for quite some time. To Brock Purdy, Brock, in the system that he is, has been extremely successful. He is rarely the cause of San Francisco losing. He is often a part of their success. However, with the surroundings being as beneficial as they are, him having the weapons that he does, it's hard to imagine that he would have as much success in other systems, especially because Shanahan's such a great offensive coach, and the difficulty of throws that he is making are what I would consider not as high as some of the other quarterbacks. His stature alone may limit him in the future, but I think he is a certified franchise quarterback, which is something that I wouldn't have said a couple of years ago. I think he has certified himself as a top 15 quarterback in this league, and you can win a lot of games with him. Same with Sam Darnold, obviously Super Bowl winner. Wasn't the reason that they won the Super Bowl last year, but he was definitely not the reason that they would have lost the Super Bowl and other games. There is so much talent and opportunity for Sam. I hope he gets another contract with Seattle. It seems like Seattle may be holding off on a contract because they think they can get something cheaper, and the way that they design their team is a little bit off, or I should say different than the rest. Sam is what I would consider a quarterback that you can win with, but you don't want to build specifically around. He is limited in his development so far. He has just gotten to the point where he understands how to limit the turnovers and mitigate risk. I think he's close to being an elite because he's got the arm talent for it, but he needs a couple years, especially at the starter position with one team, to make that jump. Finally, we're in the elite category. It's Pat, it's Josh Allen, it's Lamar, and it's Matt Stafford. Starting with Matt Stafford, Matt is one of the best game managers. He's got one of the best offensive coordinators in the game. He's got the arm talent. He mitigates risk, and he is the reason that Rams team won the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. He was a difference maker, and that's why he's in the elite category. You saw it on the field. They needed him. They needed a special quarterback to be able to win that game, and they depended on him, and he was able to elevate that team. That's why he's elite. When you're talking about elevating your team and the surroundings around you, that's Lamar, that's Josh. For Lamar, I think he's had one of the worst supporting casts in the NFL. Despite that, you're looking at a floor of basically 9 wins a season. That's extremely high. He's always the reason that his team is in the games. He is rarely the reason that his team is losing. I think Lamar is still underrated when it comes to being a quarterback because his surroundings have been so poor. And I don't think any of his wide receiver ones would ever be wide receiver ones anywhere else. So that's a lot of the reason that he's in the elite category. Josh Allen, you've seen him with a good supporting cast. You've seen him with a bad supporting cast. He elevates both. He is certified quarterback 2. His floor is 10 wins, the playoffs, and arguably the divisional round. That's his floor. We haven't seen him get past the AFC Championship game. I think that's coming. He has so much talent, and on a year-to-year basis, especially during the regular season, there's nobody that puts his team in better position to be a top 3 seed every year beyond Lamar, him, and Patrick. Finally, Patrick, there's no other quarterback that you would want. I still think he's the best in the league. His stats haven't proven otherwise the last 2 years. However, Pat he's the most confident I've been in a quarterback when it comes to winning games when you need him to, and doing so no matter what. He doesn't, I should say, in big games, it feels like he's not going to make mistakes, and that no matter what, he's going to end up on top, similar to Brady. Maybe he has a couple of down years, but I still wouldn't take anybody over him. To the second part, ranking the top 20 quarterbacks. I'll start top down. Number 1 is Pat. I think it's obvious. Number 2 is Josh. I have Josh over Lamar just because I think Josh's floor is a bit higher than Lamar. You've seen Josh be surrounded by a little bit more talent. At the same time, Josh, at least in the playoffs, has had a few more better games than Lamar. Lamar does make me more nervous in the playoffs than Josh does, even though most recently Josh had a terrible game against Denver. Lamar in the regular season has missed time, and that's, I think, the last and really the biggest reason why I have Josh ahead of Lamar. I think Josh is a little bit more reliable when it comes to showing up and being available on game day, and I think that's the true difference between 2 and 3. 4 is Matt Stafford. 5 is Joe Burrow. I think Joe is, with the right surroundings, can make every throw, and I don't know that we've seen him with a competent offensive line. He has made a Super Bowl. That's more than Dak can say, and I have Dak at 6. I have Jared Goff at 7. At 8, I have Trevor. At 9, Drake May. You may think that I've seen a couple good years from Trevor as compared to just one from Drake May. Obviously, Drake's best season last year, I think, trumps any of Trevor's best seasons. However, I think situationally, the opportunity that Drake proposes for the future is a little bit different than Trevor. I think Trevor has a little bit more talent than Drake does, but they're kind of interchangeable right now. and I'm a little bit biased, to be honest. 10 is Caleb, 11 is Jordan Love. Similarly feel interchangeable to me. I think the advanced analytics make Jordan Love a little bit higher, but I don't have as much confidence in him. 12 is Justin Herbert, 13 is Sam Darnold, 14 is Brock Purdy. Justin Herbert, and the only reason that he's higher than Darnold and Purdy, I think, is just the arm talent and the intangibles. But Sam and Brock, I feel similarly about. 15 is Jalen Hurts, 16 is Baker, 17 is Bo. Hurts is shown that he can be... You can win a Super Bowl with him. Baker and Bo, I haven't seen that. I don't know that Jalen's more talented than Baker or Bo, but he at least has the resume to back it up. Finally, CJ at 18, 19 is Jaden, and 20 is Bryce. I think CJ has a little bit more upside considering he's a little bit more pro-style offense. Jaden, gosh, I hope his health pans out and he's able to stay healthy in this league. And finally, Bryce, I think Bryce is right on the edge of you need a new quarterback versus he's a certified starter right now. I don't know that. I think he's better than everybody else behind him. At the same time, if his youth runs out and he is still playing at this level, I don't know that he will continue to be a starter in this league, but that's why I have him at 20. That is this episode. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. We will be back here next week for NFL predictions, division by division. Talk to you then.